Howdy everybody, and Happy New Year! This is a time when people wax philosophical. They put the mistakes of the past behind them and look forward to the possibilities that are there in the new year. And so it's a time of thinking ahead and planning. I do some of that too. And so I thought I'd share some of it with you today. Now I'm out here getting ready to water some trees that I recently planted. You know, we're in the dry season and we have to be aware that newly planted trees aren't going to get the kind of water that they need to develop their root systems from rain because we're not getting any rain. So I have to step up and bring water to those trees. So I fill up these 5-gallon buckets and carry them to the trees. Now I made a video about this some time ago called our human-powered irrigation system. I'll put that down in the description in case if you're interested in watching it. It certainly is not ideal, but it's what we have to work with right now. Now planning is a real challenge on Lead and Lead to Farm because every day I'm confronted with challenges that were unexpected and usually detour me off the things that I was planning in the first place. And those range from equipment difficulties to animal problems to unexpected weather to even me not waking up in the morning on time, such as today. My neighbors kept me up half the night setting off fireworks, and we have 6 dogs that are all afraid of fireworks. And I'm not a big fan of fireworks myself, and neither is Lena. And that meant that we all had to comfort each other during the onslaught of the fireworks around midnight and for quite some time afterwards too. So successful farm management means that you have to learn to adapt. Now, unfortunately, I'm not very good at adapting because I'm autistic. I have a lot of routinized behavior that I do the same way every day, but I've had to learn over the years to accept that the world doesn't always operate according to my schedule. Now, I have tried many things to help me to adjust to things around me. One of them, I was enthusiastic. I thought it would work pretty well. I learned from watching American football. I'm a lifelong Chicago Bears fan, and one of the things I've learned from watching American football is that the coach will send in 2 plays to the quarterback. 2, not just 1, but 2, and then it's the job of the quarterback to look at the defensive alignment and decide which of those 2 plays is best. And that's done every play that they make. The quarterback gets 2 plays. And so I said, well, you know, maybe I should try doing that. Maybe I should have 2 things that I'm planning on doing. And then if one of them doesn't work out, I have the other one already thought through. Well, I'm here to tell you that didn't work very well. And the reason why is because of something called Murphy's Law. If anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. So just having a second backup plan doesn't necessarily mean that your day isn't going to be disrupted. So I since have chosen basically to wake up in the morning with no plan at all and just wait and see what happens. And if I'm confronted with something that I have to deal with right away, I deal with that. I don't have to get upset about it. I have an overall idea of what I want to accomplish. Some of you might be wondering, given that it's difficult for me to plan, how I'm able to accomplish anything at all. And that's a fair assessment. And to be truthful, I'm kind of surprised that I've been able to accomplish as much as I have myself. And I really sum it up with 2 words: patience and persistence. I'm very patient and I'm very persistent. I don't give up. I just keep going. I think of a new way to do things and start again. And so these days, I don't really have any plan at all in the morning. What I do have is a general idea of everything that I want to accomplish, for example, this year. And it's all up in my head. And depending on what I'm confronted with when I wake up in the morning, I adjust and choose something on that list that's in my head to do. And you may say, wow, That's a real fly by the seat of your pants type of way of doing things. And I agree, but it is what works for me, and it's how I roll. And then at night when I'm getting ready to go to sleep, I revise the year-long plan in my head and get up the next day and do the same thing again. If I tried to do it the other way, to plan, to have a flow chart, to have all that other stuff, and when confronted with something that interrupts that plan, my autism would cause me to obsess so much about the fact that the plan is being interrupted that I wouldn't accomplish anything for the whole day. So with that said, let me share some goals that Lena and I have for 2024, with the understanding that we have no plan for accomplishing them. We just know that we want to accomplish it, and that sometime during 2024, we hope that they will be accomplished. So the first of these is to finish setting up the irrigation system for the enchanted forest that you can see off there in the distance. You know that from some other videos that we set these tanks up and they're actually full of water, but we haven't got the pump that is going to pump the water out to the enchanted forest. I have to buy the pump and set up the lines for that. So that's a big one on our list. Right next to us here is what we call in Spanish a vivero, or the greenhouse. We built this greenhouse almost 2 years ago now, and we've never planted or grown anything in it because shortly after building the greenhouse, we got the sheep. And as you can see, there's Kathy in there and there's the babies behind her. And we've used this greenhouse as a place to house Kathy and her children after she's had them. But that is not sustainable for us. We want to be able to have a nice greenhouse garden in here. And that brings up another thing, because that means that we have to build an infrastructure to house them so that when Kathy is pregnant again, we won't have to bring her in here and have her eat all of our vegetables. Kathy has been great. She's given birth to Sammy, she's given birth to Tommy, and she's given birth now to Billy and Bobby. But you may notice a pattern there. She seems to be always giving birth to male sheep, and we want to have a better balance. And so we're going to bring another ewe in here and see if we can't balance that out. Now the next thing on the list is to construct an electrified perimeter fence that goes right down here by the forest that encloses the south side of the farm in this electric perimeter fence. Now we have 6 swales in here, and this is to help protect those swales. And also it just is a better organizational system for me, because right now all of the paddocks for the sheep, the places for them to eat, are set up by me moving temporary fence. And that is very labor consuming. If I have the permanent electrified perimeter fence, I can simply tap into that at any point and put a temporary paddock up there very quickly. So that's the idea behind it. And we have to protect the swales. We don't want the sheep on the swales, because if they don't particularly like the food that they're eating, they'll start eating the bark on the trees. And we don't want that to happen. That'll kill the trees, obviously. Now, another item is to do some serious work on the swales. I have been so occupied with learning and developing the infrastructure for the sheep that I've kind of neglected taking care of the swales the past couple of years. And so I have to get in here and clean up the swales, pollard a lot of the Glitticepium that is in there that have grown pretty big now. There's too much shade in there for the fruit trees, so I have to do that. The next thing is a series of projects using rocks. You could probably see the rock fence back there, and I made a video about this. I'll put it in the description if you care to watch it. But I want to build another rock fence where you see this big rock here. Fill that in so that it's another terrace on this incline here. So that's one of the rock projects. We do a lot with gabions here on the farm as well. And then finally, we have a number of projects that need to be tackled that fall into the home improvement category. And I won't go into those, but those are also a priority for us. So like I said, these are all projects that we would like to accomplish sometime during the course of 2024. Who knows? We may accomplish a few of them very quickly. Others may take longer. Others may not be done at all. We don't know. There may be other priorities that emerge that we have to adjust to. But we will adjust, we'll persevere, we'll use persistence, and we'll accomplish them eventually. With that, I'm going to end the video. Thanks a lot for watching.